And a good day, everybody. J7409 here with you with weather news today and your tropical update. And what we're looking at right here is a picture that Shannon from Kentucky sent in. She sent me in several, I'm going to show them to you right quick, of black chemtrails. Look at there. Now, Shannon's in Kentucky. I want to thank you, Shannon, for sending these pictures in. I enjoyed looking at them. I'm sure that everyone else here is enjoying looking at them also. You've made some great shots here. We appreciate it a lot. Now, if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Just click the bell, subscribe, click the bell, check off the email notification mark to make sure you get all of the videos, and you should get them through the feed. You know what I found, folks? I have found that when I went through my analytics, more people watch me when they Google me and find me, and they're not subscribers, than my subscribers. That doesn't make any sense, does it? No. So please do subscribe and make sure that you get all of your notifications for weather news, forecast, alerts, warnings, and watches, and tropical weather. Also, if you have any weather pictures that you would like to share with us, please click Show More down below. Scroll down and you will find an email address to send them to. And once again, thank you, Shannon. Now, of course, this is the GFS model, courtesy of Tropical Tidbits. Thank you very much, Levi, over there. Helps out a lot. And if you want to know what time it is showing, the forecast hour is right up here. Here's a date, and you'll see as it clicks through. But before I even get to that, I would like to remind everyone that that little system we've been watching, this broad trough area, well, it's disturbed weather, of course, and at this moment it's moving west northwest northwest across the Gulf of Mexico, okay? And it's also expected to bring widespread and potentially heavy rain to portions of Texas and Louisiana from the weekend through early next week, with moisture, plenty of rain that's going to spread north across the southern plains as well. So it hadn't really got to the Gulf yet, but it probably will. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with all that. But I just wanted to forewarn you guys, especially down in this area, you will probably get, who knows, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain out of it. Now, so far as our weather forecast in general for the U.S., we'll turn the map on. And you guys down in this area, you're getting stuff from Bud. And the tropical stuff will come up right after this. So let's turn it on. In general, and what's happening? Well, scattered showers and thunderstorms will persist across much of the Central Plains, the Deep South, and the Ohio Valley, ahead of a frontal boundary tracking slowly to the east. Now, the boundary will provide a focus for heavier rainfall and strong to severe thunderstorms, particularly across portions of the lower Ohio Valley and the Central Plains. Now, slow storm movement will increase the threat for heavy rainfall and flooding. Now, also we have strong to severe thunderstorms that will be possible for much of the Northeast. And everybody in these areas, you do have a risk of these storms being severe. So please be aware of your skies with hail, high winds, and heavy downpours, and maybe even some flooding. Now, a frontal system will cross through the Rockies and exit into the northern high plains over the next few days, and this will provide focus for strong convection thunderstorms across the northern plains. Now, you folks have a risk of severe storms for North Dakota and western Minnesota. So this will go on through Friday. Please be aware of it. Persistent ridging is in the upper levels, and it will keep summer heat locked in across the southwest with afternoon highs in the 90s and low 100s, likely through all day long today. Hopefully it will decrease a little bit. These values today are going to be at least 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year. And you guys are going to have heat warnings, I'm sure, in parts of southern Arizona, eastern California, and far southern Nevada. Now, temperatures are expected to moderate to near or below normal by tomorrow. Well, yep, that's a good thing. It's going to happen because this upper ridging is going to be shifting eastward. Elsewhere across the U.S., temperatures across central U.S. and the Intermountain West will also be above about 10 to 15 degrees normal from this boundary entering the Pacific Northwest by this afternoon and tonight. Now, moisture from Hurricane Bud is making its way northward through western Mexico, and portions of southern Arizona will begin to have rain associated with this tropical system by tomorrow and Friday. So, please be aware of all this going on. Can you believe it? Next week, it's summer. Here's a quick shot of Bud this morning. Now, Bud has come down in strength. We'll get to all of that in a moment. I don't want to make this video but so long, but I want to show you what Bud is looking like as of this morning. And here's a shot of our little Invest 91L. Boy, it sure doesn't look like it did yesterday, does it? Must have gotten some of that sheer wind I was talking about. Nothing has changed except one thing, really. I mean, it looks like it is beginning to weaken some, but right now still, the winds are around 28 miles per hour with no gust. The radius of circulation still is about 140 nautical miles, but the the radius, maximum winds of the radius, not winds themselves, but the radius, that has changed. It was 90 nautical miles yesterday, and this morning it is 80 nautical miles. The minimum central pressure is still around 29.88, and that's what it looks like. There's no gust in this, there's no nothing. All of the models, some of them have come down some degree, but like I say, I don't want to make this too long, so let's go check out things from the National Hurricane Center. And we will start out with Invest 91L. This came in bright and early this morning at 1:05 a.m. and as they call it, disturbance number one, disorganized showers and thunderstorms over the western Caribbean Sea are associated with this weak surface trough. The activity is forecast to move westward to northwestward over Central America and the Yucatan Peninsula during the next couple of days with no significant development. Environmental conditions could become slightly more conductive for some development if the system moves into the southwestern Gulf of Mexico by the end of the week. And that is, let me tell you, if it goes right through this little crook I showed you in last night's update, where the shear wind is not so strong, you could see how this shear wind looks like maybe it's already got hold of it a little bit this morning. All of this can change though, okay? Formation chance in 2 days, 0. Formation chance in 5 days, 20%. Let's see if we can get this to click on over. Here we go here. Let's click it again, and you can get a better shot of it. And it is seeming to be tearing apart right now. That doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. We'll click over to 5 days, get that map, and this is where it looks like it's going according to the National Hurricane Center this morning. And this was the latest at 2 a.m. this morning when they put all the models together. Now, Bud. And before we get to Bud, of course, we have this other little system that has popped up yesterday, and this is what it's looking like. Okay, it's disorganized clouds and showers. It's centered several hundred miles south-southwest of the Gulf there, and it's associated with a broad area of low pressure instead of a trough. Now, this is unfavorable for upper level winds are expected to prevent significant organization of this system for the next couple of days. Thereafter, environmental conditions could become marginally conducive for some development late in the week as the system drifts north-northwestward or northwestward. 2 days 0, 5 days 20. However, we have to wait and see what happens with it. Now to Bud. Well, look how Bud has calmed his act down. He is now a Category 1 hurricane with a sustained maximum winds of 75 miles per hour, the minimum central pressure 987 millibars, and if you're tracking it, located 19.1 north, 108.8 west. Bud is moving north-northwest at 5 miles per hour. What else do we need to look out for? All of this area. Here's a tracking map from the National Hurricane Center. You can see 3 a.m. this morning where Bud was. It's a Category 1 hurricane, but looks like it's going to weaken right on down to a tropical storm. And where you see the yellow up here, all of you guys are under a tropical storm watch. Last night in my tropical update, I told you guys you probably were going to get tropical rain, probably some winds, and yes, indeed you are. And you can see that by Saturday, it's just a depression system, and it keeps weakening as it goes across portions of Nevada and New Mexico. This thing could bring rain right on up. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But you guys right in this area, you need to pay attention because you are going to be feeling some tropical storm winds as well. Now I've got this looping through. This is the winds and what they should be like. If you look right up here, you can see the time and how many hours and days away it is. At some point, you guys right around the area here of the Baja area, you're going to have 40, maybe 50 mile per hour winds, as you can see. So you need to pay attention to this, and those winds will prevail, but they will weaken as they move across the other sections and areas of northern Mexico up here. But right down in here, you guys have a really good chance of 40 to 50 mile per hour winds coming up. So keep that in mind. And for everyone that will have contact with Hurricane Bud, well, the Hurricane Center is forecasting that the center of Hurricane Bud, of course, this morning was located 19.1 north, longitude 108 point west. Bud is moving toward the north-northwest at around 7 miles per hour. And this motion, with a slight increase forward speed, which is a good thing, is expected into tomorrow. Now, Bud is forecast to accelerate northward late Thursday into Friday on the forecast track, and the center of Bud will cross southern Baja California slow early Friday and move over the Gulf of California later Friday. Maximum sustained winds have decreased to near 75 miles per hour, and additional weakening is in the forecast. But is forecast to still be a tropical storm when it reaches southern Baja California Sur late Thursday, tomorrow, and tomorrow night. So late tomorrow and tomorrow night for you folks in the Baja California Sur area, that's when you're going to have tropical storm rains and winds. Now, the hurricane force winds right now extend outward 25 miles. You're not going to have to worry about that, but the tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 105 miles, so you need to pay attention. The hazards you have to look after and expect from Bud, well, tropical storm conditions, of course, are possible within the watch area beginning tomorrow. It's the rain. Bud is expected to produce an additional rainfall of 2 to 4 inches across much of southwestern Mexico through tomorrow, with isolated maximum amounts of 6 inches. Now, these rains could cause flash floods, and mudslides. And Bud is also expected to produce 1 to 3 inches of rain with isolated totals of 5 inches across southern portions of the Baja California Sur and other areas in northwestern Mexico all the way through Saturday. Of course, you're going to have swells, you're going to have rip currents. Please, please, please be aware of all of that. One good thing, your rain totals have gone down a little. Some places last night you could have got 10 inches, and the most right now is 5. So that's going to end it up for the weather in general and the tropical forecast this morning. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Please share this information if you have any family or friends in the areas that I've been talking about this morning that could have significant rain and maybe some winds to go along with it. That includes the severe storms here in the U.S. I love you guys. Please subscribe, like, comment, all the stuff you do. I appreciate it so much. Be safe always. Be aware of what's around you. And much peace, love, and kindness to all.